Are you about to start a new job and you are completely worried about how to make a first impression? Are you worried that you're going to fall flat on your face in front of your new coworkers? Well, today I'm going to be talking about how to make a great first impression, your first day. This extends to your first week and even your first month, because guess what? You get 30 days to be the fresh new kid on the block where everybody wants to just love all over you and make sure that you succeed. For the best tips and advice on how to build unstoppable confidence in your career, click the bell notifications to be notified every single time I release a new video. Oh, and make sure you subscribe too. I'm Hutchinson, and I'm your career confidence coach. In my 18-year career, I have had several opportunities to start a new job and make a first impression. I made some mistakes along the way, but I eventually learned from my mistakes. And today, I'm gonna be sharing with you 3 ways to make the best first impression you can. Setting a good first impression can be nerve-wracking because basically you are setting the expectation of who you are going to be to the folks in your company. So when you're starting a new job, you want to get this right. So let's get into it. The first thing you need to do when you're starting your new job is to avoid negative self-talk. When you start your job and you are consumed with a bunch of mental chatter that's all negativity about yourself, what happens is your negativity that you feel about yourself is going to come across to everyone who's around you. Thus, they are going to start thinking you're that way. For example, if you start to feel inferior to somebody, like, oh, this person's better than me, or I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm not good enough for these people dress better than me. When you start having all of these thoughts come into your head, you start to exude that feeling about yourself, and people will start treating you that way. They will start feeling your insecurity. The way you combat that negative self-talk is you remind yourself, right before you go in to the office that day, remind yourself, I've got this, they chose me, I interviewed well, they chose me over 200 people or whoever they interviewed. You just remember that you were the one who was chosen, and they want you. They want you the way you are, not the way everyone else is in the company. Just remember, you are that unique unicorn that's coming in to make a difference in that company. Therefore, don't do the negative self-talk, because the negative self-talk is gonna bring out a perception of an insecure person. Second thing you wanna do is make sure you ask questions. On the first day, in the first week, and in the first month of your employment, you are that fresh new face that everyone wants to help. So that's the time that you want to ask questions of your coworkers. You can ask in different ways. You can send emails. You can walk up to someone and ask them a question. People are willing to help you, and the last thing they want to do or want to find out is that there was a question that you, on the first day of your employment or the first week of your employment, that you refused to ask. I've made this mistake in my career because I used to believe that asking questions meant I was incompetent. I always felt like I had to go research it or I had to figure it out myself. But the more seasoned person that I am now, I realize that when you're asking questions, you're demonstrating that you are interested in what's happening, and you're engaged, and that's what it is you want to be engaged. And you don't want to be to a point where you're asking questions for the sake of asking questions. You want to ask questions because you want the information that you need to do your job. Comment below and let me know what are some of the techniques you've used to make a good impression on your first day. Or if this is your first job, let me know what scares you the most about going into your new job on your first day. Number 3, last but not least, but it's the most important tip that I can give you today. Be authentic. You are going to be setting the expectation of who you are to this company, and perception matters. Be yourself. Do not send a representative, your inauthentic self, to the first day of your job. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. What's gonna happen is that eventually you are going to be tired of being that inauthentic person. You're gonna be tired of being the people pleaser, the super friendly person, the person who's always bringing donuts. Don't do it. People do this because they want to be liked. And usually when you want to be liked, you do things that you don't necessarily want to do. But the thing is that if you do this, you have to commit to it throughout the whole entire time that you're working there. You can't just say, you can't just raise your hand for every single project. If it's not authentic for you to be raising your hand to do every single project and to give all of your time to the company, don't do it in the beginning. Just trust me. You don't want to set an expectation that you are a yes person and that you will give your life to the company. Because the minute you do that, that is what people are gonna expect. And when you decide that you wanna take some of your time back, people are gonna be upset. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that you don't show an impression of you being interested in doing work. I'm not saying that you don't work late when they ask you to. I'm not saying that you don't raise your hand for assignments. What I'm saying is don't work late when you don't want to or when you can't, when you have another commitment. What I'm saying is don't volunteer for something that you have no interest in. Because when you start to do that stuff, you will end up resenting yourself because it's gonna be hard to unwind yourself out of that. When you start putting your work before your family, that is gonna become an expectation of the company. You want to make sure you are your authentic self. The last thing you want to do, again, is build an expectation of some person, some perfect, friendly, amazing. Not to say that you're not all of those things. You just want to make sure that the picture that you are presenting to your company is a realistic one. Realistically, not everybody is a people pleaser all day. Realistically, we have our moments where we're not happy and bubbly and enthusiastic. Realistically, we have our own lives outside of work. So if there's nothing you remember from this video today, be yourself. It is easier to be yourself and you will sleep better at night. I have gone through a long career not being my authentic self, and it cost me a lot. So that's all I have for you today. If you learned from this video, please like, share it, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click the bell notification so that you can get more of my goodness. For more of a deep dive in career confidence coaching, click the link in the description to join my monthly membership coaching called Rise Up. I'll see you next time, and thank you so much for being part of this confidence family.